Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So today's pick a card reading is actually quite long overdue. I got the suggestion to do this reading topic literal months ago. We are going to look at signs that meeting your soulmate is just around the corner. We are going to look at the setting and the circumstances of your meeting and your impressions on each other, how you're going to feel about each other. Before we get into it, I am very excited to announce that I have a new song which was released today, and her name is We Had a Chance. This song is actually based on an idea that I made like 5 years ago, and I finally got back to it and revamped it. My previous release, You Would Wait, was also a revamp of a very old idea, so keep all your ideas. This song is about someone who has fire inside of them, a dream, a passion, a love that they have not pursued with all of their heart. Maybe because of a fear of failure, maybe because they can't admit what they really want, maybe it seems silly or unrealistic to them, so they just don't even bother trying. But their life is not a reflection of the true love and the true passion that is in their heart. But no matter how long they live this inauthentic life, that fire never goes away. And it's always there, and it's always whispering to them. It never gets easier to ignore. Their higher self is always there, reminding them like, hey, I'm still here. If you want to do this, I'm here. First, they tell themselves, I don't really want this. But then when they can't ignore that desire, they say, okay, well, I did want it, but it's too late now. Like, I missed my chance. I'm too old, or that person or group wouldn't want me anymore, or whatever it might be. And they tell themselves all these stories so that they don't have to put themselves out there and just go for it. This song represents when their higher self finally gets through to them and they're like, you know what? No, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna do it because I am tired of living this life like I am just on autopilot and nothing feels authentic and nothing feels like me and nothing feels passionate. I think that this song could be relatable to a lot of people because I do think that many of us are afraid of going after what we truly want, and we'll tell ourselves all these stories or excuses to stay in our comfort zone. And I also think that a lot of us are maybe dealing with someone who's afraid to go after what they want, or afraid to admit the love that's inside them, or you have dealt with someone like this before. So I'm gonna have the song link down below if you want to check her out, and I'll be super grateful if you do. I hope you guys enjoy the reading, and let's get into it. Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So in today's Pick a Stone reading, we are going to be finding out how, when, and where you will meet your soulmate. I've been wanting to use these specific 6 stones together in a reading for literal months now. I've had them laid out next to each other this whole time, just waiting for the right time to do a reading with them. And I actually showed them on a video over on my vlog channel, and someone had commented that I should do this topic with these stones. So that is what we're gonna do today. I'll get a little bit more into the full breakdown of the reading once you have chosen your group. So for now, let's take a look at your options. There are 6 readings for you to choose from today, so I'm gonna show you each stone up close one by one, and then please pick whichever one you feel drawn to the most. Number 1s, I actually don't remember what this is. It looks like some kind of black pyrite. Number 2s, you have moss agate. Number 3s, you have labradorite. Number 4s, you have flower agate. Number 5s, you have green flower jasper. And number 6s, you have green apophyllite with Stilbite. Okay, so as always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi number 1s. So if you guys chose what I think is black pyrite. Let me know if you know what this is. This is going to be your reading all about how, when, and where you will meet your soulmate. This is the full breakdown of today's reading. We have the reading here on YouTube as well as an extended today. And on YouTube, we're going to start by seeing the events that will lead up to you meeting your soulmate. So what is going to be going on in your life right before you meet them? And we're going to look at this from an inner perspective, like what's going on within you, as well as an outer perspective. So what's going on like around you in your life, in your external circumstances, so that you know if this is happening in your life right now, then that's a very strong sign that they are about to come into your life. Then we will see the setting, so where you are going to meet your soulmate and the circumstances of your meeting. And we are also going to see both of your energies at the time of this meeting and your impressions of each other. And then in the extended reading, we are going to see, is it possible that you have met this person already? We are going to find out whether you have already met your soulmate. And if you have already met them, we'll see what's next. If you haven't already met them, we'll see what happens after you meet them. And then we are going to see relevant time frames in this connection. So that is everything that we're going to be looking at today. Without further ado, let's get into it. The first thing we want to see is what will be going on in your life right before you meet your soulmate. What events are going to lead up to you meeting your soulmate? Group number one. Group number ones, what is going on in group number one's inner world right before they meet their soulmate? So we have the Nine of Wands, and we have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. And what is going on in your external circumstances right before you meet your soulmate? We have the King of Cups, and we have the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, it makes sense that the last card was taking some time to come out, because what I see that is going on in your life before you meet your soulmate is that the energy does feel kind of slow or stuck. It seems like there is a certain goal that you guys are working towards, and with the Nine of Wands, it feels like you're really close to achieving this goal. But it's like you've been really close for a long time. And so it's like, am I actually close to achieving this? It's like, if this is your finish line, you've been here. You've been almost there for a long time. So you might be in an energy where you're like at a plateau, and even when you keep putting in efforts, you're not moving forward. You could be in an energy where if you're like doing a reading, for example, or having a reading done, you keep getting this message of you're almost there, it's almost happening, it's right around the corner, and yet like nothing's moving. I'm also being reminded of, you know, when you use a GPS and it shows, let's say it shows that the time of arrival is in 5 minutes. So it's like, okay, we're almost there. And then you keep driving for 5 minutes, and then now the arrival time changed and it's 5 minutes from now. So it's this like perpetual state of being almost there. And this could be honestly something that is quite frustrating for you. I think you're trying to just like keep your work ethic and trying to stay hopeful and trying to just keep pushing day after day. But it does get a little bit tiring. So you're feeling like you're in this stuck and stagnant energy before your soulmate comes into your life. And I also think that something else that could be a little bit frustrating is that you see people or resources that could probably help you in reaching your goal, but people are not helping. Or like, because with this King of Cups, it looks like someone's back is turned to you. And it's frustrating because you can maybe see what you need to get unstuck, but it's just not becoming available to you. And what I'm seeing here with the Wheel of Fortune is that this situation will take some kind of divine intervention, because it's funny, I was just writing an Instagram reading for something similar, but I feel like this is one of those situations where your hard work and dedication can only take you so far. It is a very big piece of the equation, but it's not the whole thing, because you also need to be at the right place at the right time. You also need a little bit of luck. And I feel like that's kind of been the missing ingredient. And your spiritual team is confirming this is not a you problem. This is not that you have done something wrong. The last piece of the puzzle is some kind of divine intervention that is necessary for you. And with the Wheel of Fortune, it is absolutely coming in. I think that it really will take just a lot of faith, and I want to say a lot of willpower to get out of this stagnant energy. It's like you need to just keep believing that it's possible and that this divine intervention will come someday. And this Wheel of Fortune card is really confirming that it is. So perhaps right before you meet your soulmate is actually when you start to feel like things are finally moving, when you start to finally get unstuck. It's like you are in a traffic jam just a couple miles away from your destination, and you're like, this is so frustrating because I'm literally almost there. I can see it right there. It's just that I'm stuck in this traffic. And it's when the cars in front of you finally start to move and you're like, thank God we are back in motion. That's what's going to happen right before you meet this person. So with that being said, let's take a look at the setting and the circumstances of your meeting with your soulmate. I'm going to use the transparent tarot for this and sort of paint the picture of your meeting, if you will. What is the setting and circumstances of group number 1 meeting their soulmate? Okay, we have the 7 of Wands. Then we have the 3 of Cups. And I'm going to take one more. And then we have the 7 of Cups. Okay, so 3 of Cups, generally with this type of reading, it does make me think of some kind of event where there is merrymaking happening. It doesn't really seem like a professional setting. It seems like somewhere where we go just to have fun, to let loose, or perhaps to celebrate something. So you could be meeting your soulmate at a party, a celebratory event, or just some kind of casual and fun environment. Looking at these people toasting, and also looking at this person with all of the cups in front of them, this could be an environment where drinking is present, or an event where people do normally drink. Of course, that doesn't mean that you will be drinking or that you have to be, but you know, people could be, or people could just be celebrating. Like this cheers could be more of a metaphor for celebrating something. The Three of Cups can also indicate that you are introduced by some mutual third party. So you and your soulmate could have a mutual friend, or you could have a couple degrees of separation between you. So for example, like your co-worker's brother is this person's best friend or something like that. There could be 1 or 2 degrees of separation between the two of you, but it does seem like you are in the same circle in some way, or you are in adjacent circles. And I think with this Seven of Wands, there's a couple different ways that I can interpret this. One, I think, is that you really wanted to be here. You really fought hard to be here. So this could be an event that you've been wanting to go to for a very long time. For example, like if your favorite artist was touring and you knew about this since a year ago, and you're like, I'm going to do everything in my freaking power to make sure that I get this time off work. If I have to pretend to be sick, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to like do everything that I can to save up my money and make sure that I can get these plane tickets and pay for this hotel. I feel like this Seven of Wands, it's like something that you really fought to be there, and it really matters to you, and you were like pulling out all of the stops. Or maybe it's like a loved one's wedding that you're like, there's no way I'm not gonna go. And even if you have conflicting schedules or like financial constraints or whatever it may be, you're like, I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna be there. And perhaps your soul is fighting even a little bit harder, because on a deep level, you know that your soulmate is gonna be there and that this is a really important day. But the other way that I can interpret this is that this event could be an opportunity to celebrate and let loose after you have like worked extremely hard. So like this event is kind of like your reward for having worked so hard, or we're actually coming together to celebrate a milestone, the end of a season of your life where you had to work really hard. So like one example of this is like a graduation party. You busted your butt for 4 years. You maybe wrote like a really significant paper, or you wrote a bunch of exams, and you're so exhausted, and now we can just like celebrate how far we've come. So yeah, that's another way to interpret this. But let's take a look at what your energy and your person's energy is going to be like, and your impressions of each other. So you are coming through as the astronomer, discovery, augury, I don't know how to freaking say that. And then we have the founder, foundations, and community. Interesting. The vibe that this gives me is that at this meeting, your person, they're going to be more in their element than you are. Because this feels like someone who, yeah, they have their foundations here. They have their community here. And you, being the one who's discovering, you might be the one who is a little bit more unfamiliar in this environment. So you might be like traveling to a place that you've never been before, or going to an event that you've never been before. But, you know, they are from this place. They know their way around this place, or they go to this kind of event all the time. It could also be a situation where maybe you don't know that many people here. Maybe you even only know like one person, and they know a lot of people here. So they feel more comfortable. They feel more in their element. Like they have a solid foundation here, whereas you're more in this, like, I feel like with this eye, it's like you want to take it all in, and you're very curious and excited about this environment. As for your impressions of each other, so their impression of you is ostentation, and we have Saturn in Taurus here. Your impression of them is inspiration with Mercury in Pisces. So that makes a lot of sense that your impression of them would be inspiration, because I feel like you are definitely meeting somewhere that feels very like new and exciting to you. You could also be watching them, like just watching them and watching them do what they do. It could be like inspiring or impressive to you. You might learn more about like what it is that they do for work or what it is that they are good at. And I think just this setting in general is something that is very inspirational to you. It feels unfamiliar, but not in an awkward and scary way of like, ugh, I don't know anyone here, I want to go home. It's more like, oh my gosh, this is also new and exciting to me, and I want to take in everything I can. As for their impression of you, I think that they can tell that you feel kind of unfamiliar, and there is a feeling of you really admiring them. And I think you're also admiring a lot of other people in this place and looking up to them, because there's definitely like other people present in this situation of your meeting. A lot of people that you like look up to or aspire to or think like, damn, I want to be like them. I would want to live more like them. This is so cool. You're just in awe is kind of your vibe. And I think that they can pick this up from you. And I think ostentation, it kind of means like you're showing off, right? So I wouldn't necessarily interpret this as like they think you're a show off, but I think it's more so that maybe they're picking up a little bit on an energy from you that like you want to impress people or you want to put your best foot forward. And so when you're first meeting and when you're first talking to each other, they may kind of feel like you have some kind of guard up or you have some kind of persona up. Maybe like you want to be taken seriously, or there's just so many people here who impress you and you want to be impressive too. And they're kind of feeling like, okay, it's going to take some time. It's going to take some time for you to feel comfortable and really let your guard down. And it's going to take some time for me to see like what's underneath all of that and who you really are. Which I get it, because it's kind of like, I'm hearing like the environment kind of does that to you. Whatever environment you're meeting in, it just kind of does that to you. You might feel like you have to put on airs or be impressive. And I think that they might wish that they could meet you again in a more like chill and laid back environment, so they can more see, you know, how you act and how you are when you are more comfortable. I think that you are going to be the one to approach them. And you might actually try a few times to talk to them before you are successful at it. I have this image of them. There's people that they kind of have to talk to out of obligation. And so I see them like they're over here talking and you're kind of on the outside and you're trying to like come in because you want to say hi to them, or like maybe there's something specific that you want to say to them, but you're like missing the timing, or oh no, they're busy with someone else, but they can see you out of the corner of their eye. They are peeping that you're interested and trying to talk to them. And what I will say is that I think once you do get the moment just to be the two of you, you will get just completely lost in conversation. I think that they're going to definitely lose track of time, and even, this might sound dramatic, but like lose track of why they're even here because they just get so absorbed in talking to you. I think they find you quite dreamy and that you are really transporting them to another world. If you did show any of your spiritual side, or if you did show a bit of like the depth that you have, I think that's something that would be very, very attractive to them. We have the numbers 2 and 12 here, which that could be dates like February 12th or December 2nd. It could also be your age gap, because I was thinking that like the year of the rat and the year of the ox are like right next to each other. So you could be close in age, or you could have an age gap that is about 12 years. And yeah, of course, Saturn in Taurus and Mercury in Pisces could be relevant astrological placements. We also have here Mars in Leo. We have Mercury in Cancer. We have Venus in Scorpio. And we have the moon in Sagittarius. So obviously not all of those have to apply, but they could be confirmations if they are your placements or the placement of someone you know. But yes, this is what I'm seeing for my group number 1. So we're going to take it over to the extended now. We are going to see whether you have met this person already. If you have, we'll see what's next in the connection. If you haven't, we'll see what happens after this initial meeting between the two of you. And then we'll also take a look at some relevant time frames for this connection. So if that sounds good to you and you'd like to join me in the extended, I'll have it linked down below in the description as well as in the pinned comment of this video. However, if you're gonna leave the reading here, I wanna say thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm gonna have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch tons of timeless, exclusive pick a card readings just like this one, and you can also decide on topics for future videos. I will link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. That is an original song. I'll also have my latest release link down below. And finally, my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and literally anything I do. I really, really appreciate having you here. I really appreciate your support, and I'm sending lots of love to you, to your person, your higher selves, your spirit guides, your spiritual teams, and all of your loved ones, both here on Earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi, number 2s. So if you guys chose the moss agate, this is going to be your reading all about how, where, and when you will meet your soulmate. This is the full breakdown of today's reading. So we're going to have the reading here on YouTube as well as an extended. And over here on YouTube, we'll start by seeing the events that will lead up to you meeting your soulmate. What is going to be going on in your life right before you meet them? And we're going to look at this from an inner perspective, like what's going on within you, as well as an outer perspective, what is going on in your external circumstances. And so if this sounds like something you are currently going through, then that's how you'll know you are about to meet them, or these can be the circumstances to look out for, to know that they are coming into your life soon. Then we are going to see the setting, so where you will be meeting your soulmate and the circumstances of how you come together. We're also going to take a look at both of your energies during this meeting and your impressions of each other. And then in the extended reading, we're going to see if maybe you have already met your soulmate. And if you have already met them, we will see what's next in this connection. If you haven't already met them, we'll see what will happen after you meet for the first time. And then we're going to look at some specific relevant time frames for this connection. We'll get a timing prediction for the short-term future and a timing prediction for the long-term future. And yeah, that is everything for today's reading. So let's get into it. The first thing that we want to see is what will be going on in your life before you meet them. What events will be leading up to you meeting your soulmate? Group number 2. What will be going on for you internally before you meet your soulmate? So we have the Knight of Cups in reverse. And we have the Ace of Cups, which is also in the reverse. And then what will be going on externally for you? The 10 of Pentacles, and this is in the upright. And we have the 6 of Swords in the upright. Okay, this is an interesting energy. So before you meet your soulmate, it seems like on the outside, everything appears to be going well. And the expression that I want to use is that on paper, everything in your life seems to be going fine. I think that you will be like in a good place at your job. You'll be in a good standing in your job, a good reputation. You'll be paid well. You'll have like a favorable living situation. You'll have a good social life. To an outsider looking at your life, it will seem like you have it all together. And I think objectively, when you look at your life, you will feel like, wow, I've really made it. I've really made some positive changes. The things that were stressing me, the things that were lacking in my life, I've made efforts to change those things. And I can see how my life has turned around. And I think it's like on the outside, it looks like your life is going very well. People might look at your situation and say like, oh, wow, this is someone who has it all. They're like living their best life. And I think that there is a part of you that recognizes that as well. But with these two cards representing your internal energy, you may be in this place where it feels like something is missing. And it honestly feels a little bit discouraging because it's like you had all of these external goals that you wanted to reach. Maybe you had goals of like, I want to buy a car. I want to get a promotion. I want to get my health on track. I want to get this certification. I want to get accepted into this school. You know, those kind of external goals, it does seem like you have achieved them. And I do think you are very proud of yourself. And like I said, you can objectively see how these things have improved your life and how they're setting you up for a good future. It's not that you are unhappy about these things. I think you are grateful for them. But it's like you can't help but feel that something is lacking. And I do think it comes from a feeling of loneliness. Like there's a lack of love or a lack of connection. Maybe it's that you've gained all of these things in the material world, but you want someone to share them with. Or maybe, yes, you do have great friends or you do have a support system, but there's still a part of you that feels lonely. Like maybe you feel that there's a part of you that isn't truly seen or that isn't truly understood. There's matters of the heart that are lacking. When everything seems to be going well on the outside, when everything's going well materially, there's still like matters of the heart that are lacking for you. That's what this looks like. There may even be a part of you that feels disconnected from your emotions or disconnected from your intuition. This energy feels like you going through a disappointment and almost being disillusioned by that. It's as if your emotions guided you towards something or your intuition guided you towards something that didn't work out. So then you feel a bit disillusioned by your emotions and by your intuition. Like, I might need to work on my intuition a little bit more if that's how this thing ended up. Or like that's how you're feeling inside. Feeling kind of maybe disconnected from your inner guidance, wondering why this disappointment happened. And yeah, it's like, even though you might feel very stable and recognize objectively that your life is stable and put together on the outside, I think inside you're just feeling a little bit lost. That's how this feels. So
these would be the circumstances that you're in right before your soulmate is entering your life. So with that being said, let's take a look now at the setting and the circumstances of your meeting. In what setting and under what circumstances will group number 2 be meeting their soulmate? So we have the 4 of Pentacles and we have the 6 of Cups. And I want to get one more. And then we have the 10 of Swords. One other thing that I want to say for my group number 2s, it really seems like this could be your current energy, or it could be like the energy that you're in before you meet your soulmate. It seems like you are really in an energy of second guessing everything you do, or like doubting yourself, doubting the choices you make, and like, am I really on the right path? Is this really the right thing to do? And I think that meeting this person is going to help you to realize that you were always on the right path without even having to try. Even in those moments where you were overthinking everything, even in those moments where you were worrying and you felt like you were just stumbling through life, you were actually on the right path the whole time. And I think it's kind of this moment of realization that you never had to overthink it so much. Because even in the moments where you were doubting your intuition, it was still correct. Even if you didn't believe it, it was still correct. It was still guiding you where you were meant to be. I do also think with this 10 of Swords, you could be, when you meet your soulmate, I feel like you're kind of in an energy where you're just done. It seems like you're just very tired. You're mentally and emotionally tired. You could even be physically tired from working very hard, but it kind of feels like you may be a little bit burnt out or mentally checked out. Just kind of like, I'm done with life. I'm done with this BS. I just want to go into a hermit mode. And I'm actually getting this message that on the day that you meet your soulmate, you almost didn't leave the house because you were just like, F this, I'm tired. I just want to stay in bed, or I don't want to socialize today. Like, I don't have it in me. But then at the last minute, you decide to go out. One of the first things I thought when I saw this 4 of Pentacles is that you almost didn't go because you didn't want to spend money. So I do think that you will be out of your house when you meet this person. So I don't really get the sense that you're meeting online or something like that, because it's something that will cost you money. So it's like, maybe you're going out for dinner or going out for drinks, or you're going on a trip, but I definitely do see you out. And it might be something, I don't think it's something that you do every day, because it would be kind of outside of your budget, and you might feel like, this is silly, it's not worth it, I don't even feel like going anyway, but something in you just tells you to go. And this is the day that you meet them. And you may also, I think they can probably tell that you're not feeling yourself, which is funny because if this is your first meeting and they're like, group number 2 is not really themselves, it's like maybe they can just tell. And that makes a lot of sense with the 6 of Cups. They can just feel who you truly are. And so they can feel that the way you're acting is not in accordance with that. They might feel that something is a bit off about your energy. And so this image is making me think like, they offer you something to help you feel better. They might offer you something to eat or drink, or they might just offer to like talk with you or sit with you and comfort you, make you feel better. And I do think that it's going to work. I also think that with the 6 of Cups, there is an immediate recognition of each other. Like the second you walk into the establishment, I think you'll feel like they're there, or that there's something special about this energy. The 6 of Cups always indicates to me that there's this very strange familiarity that you can't really place, because it's like, I know that I've never met you before, and yet I just feel like I've seen you a million times before. I feel like I've known you forever. And I know that there's something special about you, and I can't deny it, but I also can't really explain why I feel this way. And they'll feel the same way about you. And I think they may be able to read your emotions quite well. And that may be something that's a little bit spooky. And it's like, they know exactly what you would need. They know exactly what to give you or what to say to you, or they know maybe I don't have to say anything and I just have to sit here and exist with them. They know exactly how to comfort you and make you feel better. And I think right away you can be vulnerable around them. And there's something even about their presence healing your inner child, or giving you something that your inner child always wanted, or making your inner child feel safe to come out. So, for example, maybe when you were a child, no one would ever just listen to you. So if you were upset, it was always like, well, why don't you just do this? Or you should just stop feeling that way. Or they would always try to like solve it and not just let you feel the way you feel. And maybe when you open up to this person, they're not jumping to give you advice. They're not jumping to tell you what to do. They're just listening to you. They're just hearing you. They're just receiving your emotion. And maybe that was something you always needed as a child. Like it feels like there's some wound that you're carrying that they just instantly know. They instantly know how to heal it. They instantly know how to be there for you and make you feel comfortable. So we'll take some cards now to see your energy, their energy, and your impressions of each other during this meeting. So for your energy, we have the Painter with productivity and creation. For their energy, we have the Wise One with tradition and order. So these are kind of opposite energies, because this is about, to me, like this is about being creative, about being spontaneous, about doing things your own way. And this is about following the traditions and following the rules. So I think that you are more of this kind of like, do it in the way that feels right, be creative. You're in this kind of energy, and they're more of the like stick to the status quo, do the tried and true path, do the beaten path. And this might be something that comes out just like in your approach to life. It could also be something that comes out in the professions that you've chosen, or the professions that you aspire to. Even in the type of art and like the type of things that you enjoy. For example, you might listen to music that is more experimental in nature, or you might listen to a ton of different genres of music that just goes all over the map, and maybe they just listen to like one genre of music, or they listen to music that very much follows like the conventional structure. That's like nothing too crazy, nothing too spicy. I feel like they're more on that side. And so right away, what I'm seeing with this is that in your relationship, They might help to bring like a little bit of order and a little bit of structure into your life, and you will probably help them to bring variety and bring spice into their life. I think that they might kind of be a muse for you as well. They might inspire you in some way, because here we have this hand is holding flowers and then you are painting them. So for those of you who are creators, you might be inspired to like write a poem or write a song or write a short story that is inspired by this person, or that is inspired by exchanges that you had. It's like you're coming out of this exchange with a lot of inspiration and with a lot of hope. And that's really beautiful, because I think before you met them, you were kind of in a funk where you were just feeling done with life. Like we said, feeling like you couldn't be bothered, like something's missing, but I don't know what. And yet I don't even have the energy to figure out what it is. It seems like you're kind of feeling down, and the conversation that you have with them is just really restoring your hope. So as for your impressions of each other, their impression of you, we have extremism. And for your impression of them, we have domination. Interesting. I feel right away like there is a lot of physical attraction and like tension between the two of you, because we have Scorpio energy here, we have Mars energy here. I definitely think that there's very strong chemistry here. The numbers 8 and 9 could be significant. Someone could be born in 1989 or 1998, or the month September 8th or August 9th could be significant. Life paths 8 or 9 could be significant, or an 8 to 9 year age gap could be significant. Just looking at extremism, if I do interpret this literally at first, there could be something about you that this person finds extreme. That doesn't mean that it is, it's just a subjective opinion. And one example that I can think about right away is that, like when I was vegan, there's some people who said that being vegan is an extreme diet, which I disagree with that. Like it really is not that extreme, but some people might find it that way. Or if there's a person who works out 5 times a week, like someone who doesn't exercise at all might find that extreme. And they're like, no, that doesn't feel extreme to me. Like I enjoy it. My body craves the movement and I feel good after I do it. And it's not that hard for me. So, this is a very subjective thing. So they may be surprised with a certain element of your lifestyle. It could be like how many hours you work, or how maybe you have like a lot of knowledge about one subject and you've gone really, really deep into it. Or I could even interpret this in a more abstract way of there's something intense about you. They could feel that there's something intense about your personality. There could be something that you're extremely passionate about. There could also be something that you are extremely opinionated about, because with Mercury, this could represent your beliefs and your ideas. Something that you're like opinionated or outspoken about, or you have like very deep spiritual beliefs. There could be something like that they feel is very intense and that they just haven't really encountered that much. And so they're like, whoa, like there's something about you that comes off as very strong to them. And I do feel neutral about this. I don't really think it's a good thing or a bad thing, just something that they remark about you. And then over on their side, with your impression of them, we have domination. So again, I could take this literally, that they might come across as a dominant person. They might have some kind of alpha energy or masculine energy about them. You might notice that in their group of friends or in their social circle, they tend to have the strongest energy. They could be something of a leader in their social circle, the one that people look to, or the one that people look up to, or people really value what they have to say. Or I was gonna say something else and now I don't remember. Oh, or this could go back to them following, like really following tradition and really following the rules. You might feel that they have been dominated by authority figures or by society. Because in this image, it kind of looks like someone is held down. You know, they want to grow, they want to expand, but they're being held down. So you might find that there's a part of them that has been stifled and that wants to express itself. You might see a little glimmer of like a softer side of them, or a more creative side of them, a more experimental side of them, a more open side of them that wants to come out but maybe doesn't feel like it can. And so they kind of go through life as very like, this is the way it is, it's black and white, it's A to B, and like these are the rules. And that might be something that you kind of want to help them break free from. So let's just mention the astrological placements that are here. So we do have Mercury in Scorpio, we have Mars in Sagittarius, we have the Sun in Capricorn, and I always forget this one. I think this is the Sun in Gemini. Sun in Capricorn, the Sun in Gemini, the Sun in Scorpio. Obviously you can't have all of those sun signs, but they could be one of them. And then we also have Mercury in Virgo, and again, Mercury in Aquarius. So obviously you can't be all of these, but maybe one or a couple of them fits with your placements or with the placements of your person. But these are all of the messages that I'm seeing for my group number 2s. So we are going to take it over to the extended now, where we're going to see, have you met this soulmate already? And or do you know of them already? And if you have, we'll see what's next. If you haven't, we will see what happens after this meeting. And then we're also going to take a look at some relevant timeframes for this connection. So if that sounds good to you and you'd like to join me in the extended, I'm going to have that linked down below in the description, as well as the pinned comment of this video. However, if you're going to leave the reading here, I want to say thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch tons of timeless, exclusive pick a card readings just like this one. And you can also decide on topics for future readings. I will link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video that is an original song. I'll also have my latest release link down below. And finally, my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. Thank you guys so much for supporting me and my channel and anything I do. I really, really appreciate having you here. And I'm sending so much love to you, your person, your higher selves, your spirit guides, your spiritual teams, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi, number 3s. So if you guys chose the Labradorite, this is going to be your reading all about how, where, and when you will meet your soulmate. This is our full breakdown for today's reading. We have the reading here on YouTube as well as an extended. On YouTube, we're going to start by seeing the events that will lead up to you meeting your soulmate, what's going to be going on in your life right before you meet them. And we're going to look at this from an internal perspective, so like what's going on within you, as well as an external perspective, what is going on in the circumstances around you. And so if you are going through something like what we describe here, then that is a strong sign that your soulmate is about to enter your life, or these circumstances can be something to look out for so that you know your soulmate is about to enter your life. Then we are going to see the setting and the circumstances of your meeting, so where and how you are coming together. And then we are going to see both of your energies within this meeting and your impressions of each other. And then in the extended reading, we're going to see, have you met this person already? If you have met them already, what is next in this connection? If you haven't met them already, what will happen after you meet them? And then we're going to see some relevant time frames for you and your soulmate within this connection. So that's everything that we're going to be looking at today. And let's get into it. The first thing we want to see is, how will you know when you're about to meet them? What events will there be in group number 3's life leading up to them meeting their soulmate? Starting with what's going on internally. What's going on internally for group number 3 before they meet their soulmate? So we're starting off with the 8 of Wands. And we also have the 6 of Swords. I like this energy. And what is going on externally for my group number 3s? We have the 2 of Swords. And we have the 5 of Pentacles. Okay, so starting off with what is going on for you internally, before you meet your soulmate, I feel like you're in an energy where you are very inspired and excited. You may be in a phase of your life where there are several different things that interest you. So there may be like several skills that you want to learn, several hobbies that you want to pick up, several creative or business ventures that you are interested in. You feel very excited and inspired at this time of your life, and life feels very fun. Life feels like bright and shiny, and you're so excited to try new things. It's actually a very sweet energy. And I think in terms of your motivation and in terms of your energy, you are confident that you would be able to try and be good at all of these things. But what I see externally is that you may have to choose just one path of all of the things that you're interested in, at least for the time being. And this is merely for practical reasons. It's like either because of time constraints, like there's so many things that you are excited to do, but you just like literally don't have the time to do all of them because you may just still have your responsibilities. You only have 24 hours in a day, just like everyone else. And so maybe when you think about it practically, you're like, I don't know if I can do all of this. Or like, if I tried to commit energy to like all 3 of these projects at the same time, for example, probably like none of them would really get off the ground. I should probably like focus my time and energy on one thing. It could also be financial constraints with the 5 of Pentacles. It's like, yeah, I want to go to yoga classes and I want to go to cooking classes and I want to start a clothing brand, but realistically, I can't invest in all of those things right now. I don't necessarily get the feeling that you are discouraged by this. I think it's just more of like okay, let's be a bit realistic and let's do these things one at a time. So your internal energy, it feels more fast. It's like, I want to do everything at once. I'm so excited. And then your external energy is more like, well, life is life and we only have so much time and we only have so much resources. And if we're going to be more practical about this, maybe let's just start with one thing and see how it goes. And if we feel like we can manage it, then we can add something else to the mix. So your overall energy, you are in an energy of enriching your life. And I think that this is something that you are quite excited about. So I'm very happy to see this energy. With that being said, now let's take a look at the setting and circumstances of you meeting your soulmate. The setting and the circumstances of group number 3 meeting their soulmate. We have, this is the Hermit. Okay, so the way that this deck is taking a really long time for a card to come out, what this is actually telling me is that when you meet your soulmate, you're going to be with them for a long time. It doesn't feel like a short chance encounter. It feels like you are spending multiple hours together. And even the way this sun is coming up from behind the mountain, you might even, for example, if you met them in the daytime, you might meet them and stay with them until it's dark out. Or if you met them in the nighttime, you might stay with them until the sun is coming up. It feels long. Then we have the Queen of Swords. Yeah, you are spending so much time together because you have such a strong intellectual connection. Like, you have really good conversations. You just click. So you can talk for hours and hours about so many different subjects that before you know it, it's been like 6 hours. I think you also both, you have similar senses of humor, and your sense of humor is actually quite clever. You might not feel that way, but it's like you have a clever and witty sense of humor, and you both just really get each other's jokes and get the way each other's mind works. Also, I feel that one thing that you might look back on after you're together, and you might say this kind of jokingly, but I feel like you're both picky about the same things. And so you might joke about that after you're together. Like, oh, I knew that you were my soulmate when you said that you were picky about this thing, because I'm really picky about it too. It's like you have all the same things that you're really particular about. Which could be, it could be pet peeves, it could be the way you like to keep your living space, the way you like to organize things, the way you punctuate, the way you type, particularities when it comes to grammar, pickiness when it comes to like food or physical environments. I think you get the picture, but you have the same pickiness. And then we also have the Fool. And isn't that so cool how it comes out? It looks like the Queen of Swords has wings. So what I was thinking from this Hermit card, now I could take this very literally, and you could meet this person when you're hiking or when you're like in the mountains or near mountains. I know that is very literal, but I just wanted to mention that because it could be the case for some of you. But I think this mountain is more metaphorical of reaching some kind of peak, or you're in a moment that's kind of like a culmination of all of your hard work. Another example that actually came quite clearly in my mind is a marathon. And I think the reason for that is, you know, a marathon is something that you train for a very long time. And it's a goal that is very, big and significant. I think especially if it's your first marathon. And I can imagine that training for one is a bit of a spiritual experience. Like, you might enter into a meditative state when you're running, or like learning discipline, or forming a new relationship with your body. That could be kind of a spiritual experience. And so it's something that you train for a very long time. But then the day of the marathon, that's like the culmination. That's the climax. That's where you really, show off your hard work and celebrate your accomplishment. So there could be something like that on the day that you meet your soulmate. You could quite literally be like climbing a mountain together or running a marathon together, or these could be more symbolic for the circumstances of your meeting. Something that proves you have reached a peak, a day or an event that is the culmination of a lot of hard work and a lot of preparation. Another thing that I'm thinking of is an important performance. Maybe someone is giving a speech, or someone is like playing a recital, or it's something that you've poured your blood, sweat, and tears into for months, or maybe even for years. And this day is like, I'm at the top of the mountain now, and people can see how far I've come, and people can see the fruits of my labor. It's also like a grand opening is coming to my mind. The grand opening of something. Like, you could be at an event to celebrate the opening of a business, or like the anniversary of something. It feels like a culmination, basically. And you or your soulmate or the person that you're there to celebrate has like worked really hard and prepared a lot for this day. Yeah. And then we also have, there's strong air energy here and strong Mercury energy as well. Gemini, Aquarius, Virgo could be relevant zodiac signs. But yeah, we have the Fool here as well, which is depicted as a butterfly in this card. Butterflies could be also like a sign that you are about to meet this person, or blue flowers could be a sign of this person as well. But when it comes to the circumstances of your meeting, it could be that there is a new version of you that emerges on this day, or there's a new version of your person that emerges on this day. And looking back on this day, it will really feel transformative for you. It will feel like the first day of the rest of your life, or the first day of a new chapter in your life. I also think that, judging from the way these came out, because, with the next cards, this side is going to be your person and this side is going to be you. And it looks like your person is the one coming towards you. And that might be something that it takes them a lot of courage to go and talk to you, because it's not because you're intimidating or anything like that. I think they're just maybe not the type to really do that. Like, especially with the Hermit here, they might really be more of the introverted and reserved type. So for them to come up and start a conversation with you is kind of out of character. But exceptional circumstances call for exceptional measures, and I think they would feel like there's something special about you that they just have to go and talk to you. So it's like they're doing something out of character to make sure that they don't miss the opportunity to talk to you or to get to know you. Also, in the Fool, there's often an image of someone like walking off a cliff, like mountains, cliffs, elevation, things like that could be relevant. You could even meet this person on like a plane, or on a very high floor of a building. Like, you could be literally elevated. You could be, I don't know, on a freaking like a chairlift or a Ferris wheel or a cable car, something that puts you high up like that. And butterflies, they're up in the air too. That's interesting. Well, let's take a look now at the cards to represent you and your person. So you are represented by the forgotten, missed opportunities, and fear of failure. They are represented by the cartographer, a crossroads, exploration. So the vibe that I'm getting from you, being the forgotten, missed opportunities, fear of failure, is that you may be feeling, I think that this person catches your eye and it's like you want them to pay attention to you, but you might feel at first like they are not really noticing you. I feel like this represents the eye of your soulmate that you're trying to catch, and you're trying to like float into their field of vision, but you're trying to do it casually, not outright being like, hey, I'm over here. It's like you're just doing your thing and hoping that they notice. But it's almost like you keep missing each other. You are staring at them when they're not looking, and then they're staring at you when you're not looking. It's like you keep missing each other. You're both looking at each other, but you keep missing your eye contact until eventually, I think it's going to be them who's like, this has gone on for too long, and they just go up and talk to you. But with the cartographer, a crossroads, exploration, I feel like you might think that they're distracted or like they're focused on other things. And maybe they are focused on other things, but you might almost have this feeling of like, they're not noticing me, or they don't have time for me, or they're not interested in me. You might kind of have that feeling. In terms of your impressions of each other, for their impression of you, we have inspiration. This came out for group number 1 as well. Inspiration with Mercury in Pisces. For your impression of them, we have enthusiasm with the sun in Sagittarius. So for their impression of you, first of all, I think that they might feel like they have seen you in a dream before, or met you in a dream before, or you remind them of someone they have seen before. There might be a certain like actor or celebrity that they think you look like, or that you remind them of, or there may be a work of art that they think you look like. Just for one simple example, maybe they think you look like the Mona Lisa. Like that's obviously just one example. Or maybe they think you look like a painting of Venus, or something like that. You remind them of this like figure, a public figure, or someone in art, or they just feel like they have seen your image before. They might find that there's something graceful about the way that you look, or about the way that you move. And I do think that they will be staring at you quite a bit before you notice that they're looking at you. And they might feel kind of like, oh, am I looking too much? Am I looking too much? Because looking at this moon, you see how it's kind of blushing? It feels kind of shy. I feel like they would be very shy if you noticed how much they were looking at you. They might kind of bashfully look away. And maybe that even happens a few times before they're finally just like, you know, F it, I'm gonna go talk to this person. There's a person flying again. Are you literally in the air? This person is in the air too. You are like in the air or high up or something like that. Are you in an elevator? Like, what is going on? Anyway, and then there's also something about you that is very inspiring to them. So this will probably be once you get into conversations with each other. And something that's coming through is it's the very things that you downplay in yourself that they find to be very impressive. So I don't know, maybe you speak like another language, but you're not super fluent in it. So you just don't really talk about it. You're like, oh, like I can only say a few things anyway. Like I'm not super good at it. And you downplay it, or you wouldn't really bring it up, but they might find it super, super impressive and be like, are you kidding? That's actually a really difficult language to learn. It's like the very things that you are humble about, that they'll be like, what the heck, you can do that? That's awesome. So they would probably feel like you're hiding a little bit. You could definitely be more of a show off if you wanted to. You could, because you got their attention so easily. They're like, imagine if you were trying to get attention. Like you would just be in the spotlight, because even when you're not trying, you're just so beautiful and you're just so impressive. So yeah, they definitely admire you a lot. And then when it comes to your impression of them, it's funny, this person's spiky hair, or maybe that's the sun behind them, but it looks like this too. That's funny. Maybe they have spiky hair or kind of like messy hair or something like that. Or maybe they have a tattoo that looks like this, or something that has like points on it. I know that's very, very vague. Maybe they are wearing something that has studs on it or something like that. You would probably you would feel their enthusiasm. That's what I'm trying to say. You would feel their enthusiasm during this meeting. And I think it would be very attractive to you, especially because you're also, you know, coming into this meeting, you're in an energy where you're super enthusiastic about life. And there's something about the circumstances of this meeting where you get to see their passion, or you get to see their ray of sunshine. You get to see them lit up. And that's something that's very attractive to you. And there's almost this feeling, it's like you feel like you don't want to steal them away. Like you don't want to steal their attention away or their energy away, but they want to give it to you. You might feel like you're burdening them in some way, but they actually, there's no one else that they would rather like talk to and hang out with. With Sagittarius energy here, and also with the map, this person could, like, they could be very well traveled or know a lot about other cultures, or they could come from a different culture. And that could be something that is super interesting to you. It's definitely clear that both of you find the other like interesting, inspiring, fascinating, and you want to talk for hours and hours, and you do end up talking for hours and hours. I think that you both have life experiences as well that are very interesting to the other person, and you both have talents that are very interesting to the other person. And there's just a feeling of like full admiration and support towards each other. We have the numbers 12 and 9. So, we also have the number 9 here. So these could be relevant dates, December 9th, which actually, if your birthday is December 9th, you would have the sun in Sagittarius. September 12th could also be a relevant date. The life paths 9, 1, 2, or 3, if we add these up, could be relevant, or there could be 1, 2, 3, 9, or 12 years age gap between the two of you. It doesn't have to be, I'm just mentioning these little things in case it's a confirmation. And also in terms of zodiac astrological placements that are here, we have the sun in Sagittarius. We also have Mercury in Sagittarius here. We have Mercury in Pisces. We have Virgo energy and Aquarius energy here. Also Gemini, like we mentioned before. And then here we have, we already mentioned that, Mercury in Sag, Mercury in Aquarius, the moon in Libra, and why do I always forget this one? Mercury in Taurus, I think. Lots of Mercuries here. Obviously, between the two of you, you cannot have all of those Mercury signs, but maybe like 1 or 2 of them apply to you or apply to your person. But this is what I am seeing here. So I'm going to end your reading here, and we're going to take it over to the extended now, where we see, have you met this person already, or do you know of this person already? And if you have, we'll see what's next in your connection. If you haven't, we'll see what's next after this meeting. And then we will see relevant timing predictions for your connection. So if that sounds good to you and you'd like to join me over in the extended, I'm going to have that link down below in the description as well as in the pinned comment of this video. However, if you're going to leave the reading here, I want to say thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch tons of exclusive, timeless pick a card readings just like this one. You can also suggest topics for future videos. And I will link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video that is an original song. I'll also have a latest release link down below. And finally, my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really, really appreciate your support, and I'm sending lots of love to you, your person, your higher selves, your spirit guides, your spiritual teams, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi, number 4s. So if you guys chose the flower agate, this is going to be a reading all about how, where, and when you will meet your soulmate. This is the full breakdown of the reading we're going to do today. We have the reading here on YouTube as well as an extended. On YouTube, we're going to start by seeing what events will be happening leading up to you meeting your soulmate. What's going to be going on in your life. And we're going to look at this from an internal perspective, like what's going on with you, as well as an external perspective, what is going on around you in your external circumstances. And this is how you will know when your soulmate is about to enter your life. So if this sounds like what you are currently going through, that's a strong sign that they are right around the corner, or these are the circumstances to look out for, to know when they're about to come into your life. And then we are going to see the setting of your meeting, so where you're going to meet them, as well as the circumstances that are bringing you together. We're also going to look at both of your energies at the time of this meeting and your impressions of each other. And then in the extended reading, we're going to see whether you have actually met your soulmate already, or perhaps you know of them, know who they are already. And if you have met them, we're going to see what's next in your connection. If you haven't met them, we'll see what's next after your meeting. And we're also going to look at relevant timing predictions within your connection. So that is the reading for today. And let's get into it. The first thing that we want to see is how you can tell when they are about to enter your life. So for my group number 4, what will be going on with you internally before you meet your soulmate? We have the Lovers and the Devil in reverse, beautiful. And then what will be going on externally leading up to you meeting your soulmate? We have the King of Wands in the reverse. And we have the Queen of Cups in the upright. Interesting. So let's start off with your internal energy. This is such a beautiful energy, and both of these cards are major arcana. I'm happy with the one that is in the upright, and I'm happy with the one that is in the reverse. Before you meet your soulmate, I definitely think you will feel this intuitively. You will feel like you are ready. You will feel like it is about to happen. As soon as I saw the Lovers, I knew that you were going to feel ready and know that it was coming. Like you're really ready to welcome love into your life. It's probably something that you're thinking about a lot. It's probably something that you are actively manifesting. I also think that before meeting your soulmate in the 3D, your psychic connection will become stronger and stronger. You will start to hear from their higher self even more frequently. You'll start to see signs and synchronicities popping up of them even more frequently. You'll start to dream of them even more frequently. This will become a daily thing. It's probably like gonna start ramping up in frequency to the point where it's happening like several times a day, that you cannot ignore it, even to the point where you might jokingly or seriously say to their higher self, like, can you please be quiet? Can you please leave me alone? Like, I get it. I get the message. This is Gemini energy, and this card makes me think of telepathy, but you know, one of the stereotypical traits of Gemini energy is that they are quite chatty. They're talkative, they have a lot to say. So their higher self, your higher self, will definitely be very chatty with each other and checking up on each other a lot before your 3D meeting, like wanting to make sure that it's all good, wanting to make sure that we're ready. And also just because your higher selves are getting very, very excited. One thing that you may also notice is that before your 3D meeting, you're kind of surrounded by images of love. So for example, maybe when you're just scrolling through social media, you're starting to see all of these things about love and relationships, or you're seeing, for example, like a cute reel of some pigeons snuggling each other, or some kittens snuggling each other. Or when you go out on the street, you're seeing all these couples, you're seeing all these people holding hands and hugging and kissing. It's kind of this feeling like love is all around you. And one thing, this is just a message for a few of you, I think, but a shift, an internal shift that you will notice right before you meet your soulmate is that for those of you who used to feel sad when you saw like love and you saw people in happy relationships all around you, for those of you who used to feel like, why can't I have that? Or maybe you felt like the universe was like taunting you with these happy couples around you and you don't have that. An internal shift that's going to be happening for you is that now when you see these happy couples, when you see these displays of love around you, you feel so genuinely happy for those people, because you recognize that like that's just the love of the universe and it's all around you, and this love is already yours, and it makes you excited for when you find your love. Like it no longer becomes this thing that makes you feel bad or makes you feel like, why can't I have that? It's like you're really, really happy for those people. So if you notice that shift happening, that's how you'll know your soulmate is about to come in, or maybe you're already noticing this shift happening. And the other beautiful thing here is that we have the Devil in reverse, which means that you are truly freed from your insecurities and from your limiting beliefs. And that doesn't mean that they're completely gone. It just means that you're not going to let them control you, and you're not going to let them stop you from living the life that you want to live. Everybody has insecurities. Everybody is scared sometimes. Everybody feels like not enough sometimes. And I think you're going to stop like judging yourself for having those negative thoughts, and stop giving them so much power. I feel like the second you tell yourself, it's okay that I feel this way, it's okay to not be okay, and just observe it, that insecurity loses most of its power over you. So that's why I'm so happy to see this Devil card in the reverse, because if it was in the upright, I might think you're kind of like struggling with it, feeling like, oh, but what if I'm not good enough? What if I'm not worthy of this love? I feel like you, from the core of your soul, you feel ready, you feel worthy, you know that it's yours. And I feel like you're just in a place of having full faith in what your intuition is telling you. That there may be those little voices of doubt sometimes, but it's like you don't even pay attention to them. You're just like, okay, like keep talking your shit, devil. Like you can keep talking your shit, but I'm not going to listen to you. I feel like that's going to be the vibe that you're in. So this is really beautiful. As for your external situation, we have the King of Wands in reverse, and we have the Queen of Cups in the upright. Something that might be happening externally for you is that you may start to be surrounded by more spiritual people. This could be new people coming into your life, like making new spiritual friends, but it could also be people who have been in your life for a while are now telling you about their spiritual journey. So just for example, maybe you have a coworker and you've been working for this person for 6 months, but you only just found out now that they are into spirituality. Or maybe you see a friend that you haven't seen in a few years and they've just opened up to you that they've, begun on a spiritual journey. Spiritual people are going to be surrounding you more and more. as you draw closer to your soulmate union. Also, something that is coming up is that your taste in food might start to change. You might start to crave more healthy foods. You might start to be more in tune with your body, and you'll find that when you're craving foods, it's like something that your body really needs. It's almost like you're starting to tune into the wisdom of your body and listen to it and let it tell you what it needs, and honoring how wise and how smart your body is. Like it's like you feel more spiritual, and at the same time, you also feel very grounded in your physical vessel. Like that is a part of your spirituality. Also, sorry, I feel like I'm kind of going back and forth with the internal and external things. I also think that you're going to have like heightened sensitivity. So you might cry more easily, not in a bad way, like you're irritable or you're getting sad, but it's like little things will move you. So like in that previous example of seeing snuggling cats, that might be so cute that it brings a little tear to your eye, or acts of kindness that you receive from your friends might make you really, really emotional. Like it seems like you're just feeling things a lot more deeply, and it's something that's very beautiful. And with this King of Wands in reverse, I didn't realize what it meant at first, but I think what this is talking about is that you no longer feel like in competition with other people. You just feel genuine love and compassion for everyone. You may notice that people who once annoyed you, you no longer feel annoyed by them. And that's just replaced by having genuine love for them as a fellow soul on this earth, and recognition that they're doing their best. And people who once gave you a hard time might suddenly change their tune around you. Like suddenly they're being really nice to you. You're like, what's going on? Why is everything going so well? So that's kind of the vibe that you are going to be in before manifesting your soulmate. So if you're in this energy, they are imminent. That sounds very ominous. Your soulmate is imminent. But yeah, look out for this energy if you're not there yet, because this will tell you when they're about to come into your life. So now let's take a look at the setting and the circumstances of your meeting with them. Oh my God. My apologies. Let's just start shuffling it the other way now. Oh my goodness. Okay. The setting and the circumstances of your meeting. We have the Ace of Swords. We have the Ten of Cups. And we have the Six of Swords. So when I saw the Ace of Swords, I actually thought that your first interaction, it doesn't necessarily have to be online, but it's one of you sending a message to the other person. And I think that it will probably be they are sending a message to you. It will likely be online for most of you, but I only say that because in this day and age, the majority of our communications are online, like sending a DM or commenting on a post or sending an email, something like that. They are reaching out to you. I mean, it could also be like over the phone or over mail, I guess, but I feel like in this day and age, most people's initial communication, you're not just like randomly calling someone on their phone number. You know what I mean? It feels more like they are popping up in your inbox for some reason. Because it might be something that is like work related, or they heard from someone that you would be interested in XYZ and they want to make an offer to you. It feels like they have something to offer to you, or they have something to communicate to you. And very shortly after this interaction, you would meet in person. With this Six of Swords, this made me think of just a message coming in, and then this is like, okay, now I'm actually like traveling to see you. I'm actually going to meet you. And with the Ten of Cups here, I really do think that this is a love at first sight situation. And this is actually the first group where I can confidently say that I don't think there's other people present when you meet each other for the first time. It's not like you're going to some like event or party or something like that. You are going just to meet each other, the two of you. But I don't think the purpose of your meeting is a date. I think it's either like to hang out as friends or to discuss the details of something further, like a potential job, a potential project. It could even be something like, okay, I'll use myself as an example. Like I have moved to Japan. So maybe there's someone else, like a friend's friend out there somewhere, who is thinking of moving to Japan or who is thinking of moving abroad. And my friend tells them about me and is like, hey, can I give this person your contact info? They want to ask you some questions about blah, blah, blah. Or like, oh, I told this person you're a tarot reader and they want to ask you some questions, or they want a reading. Can I give them your contact info? It's like, it kind of feels like they're reaching out to you with a specific goal, a specific purpose. Like they want to talk to you about something. They maybe want to offer you something. They maybe want to like discuss details of something, possibly working together, or like maybe you can help them in some way. Like they want information and details. I know that's kind of vague because it can probably manifest in so many different ways, but the intention at first is not just like, I like you, I want to get to know you, I want to see you. It's there's something specific that I would like to discuss with you. There's something I would like to ask you. There's something I would like more knowledge or information on. It's like that kind of vibe. And then you agree to meet up. Probably your first meeting would be quite casual, like, you know, like coffee, lunch, something, you know, not like a romantic dinner. It's not that kind of vibe. Like you think I'm just going to help this person out. I'm just going to like share my knowledge. I'm just going to help them with something. It feels like you are probably more so doing them a favor with this first interaction. You are like teaching them something or looking over something for them or sharing info with them. And then, well, I mean, it could be the other way around too, but anyway, that's kind of the main vibe. And then you realize like, oh shit, we really click on a deeper level. And I think that's what this 10 of Cups is. I think it's a love at first sight thing. And probably, you know, when you end up together and you are talking to each other about when did you know I was the one, you're probably both going to say like, when we had this first meeting in person, which is very, very sweet. So we are going to take a look now at your energies at the time of this meeting. So your energy is the cartographer, a crossroads, and exploration. Their energy is the air, unseen potential, and hesitation. Yeah, so you seem to be the person who, actually, I don't know. There's someone who has knowledge and has talents in a certain field, and then there's another person who has potential but doesn't really see it yet. That's kind of how it's coming through. With them coming through as the heir, I mean, they could literally be an heir. They've maybe like inherited some money, or maybe their family is wealthy or something. Oh my God, car honking outside. So that's definitely a confirmation. This person is wealthy, or like they come from money, or they've inherited money, or something like that. But I feel like it's very important to them. They want to make their own success. They want to make something of themselves by themselves. There's a feeling of like they see a potential in you that you don't see, or you see a potential in them that they don't see, that is different than what you're currently doing. So it would be like if someone met with me and I'm telling them about, I don't know, I'm telling them about tarot cards, or like I'm doing a reading for them or something like that. And then they're like, you're really good at teaching things. Have you ever thought of being a teacher? Have you ever thought of making an online course? I'm not saying I'm good at teaching things, by the way. This is just an example. And I'm like, no, like I've literally never thought of that. But from this first meeting, one of you is like seeing in the other, you would actually be really good at blah, blah, blah. But maybe that person feels like it's not their place to say anything. Like, okay, you've got your work going, you're in your element, you've got your thing that you're doing, and I respect that. But I see this potential in you for this other thing. And I think part of this relationship is opening up each other's minds to things that you could potentially be good at. I love when I see this energy in a connection, like seeing traits in the other and strengths in the other that you can't see yourself. I think it's like beautiful when you help each other discover yourselves more. So in terms of your impressions of each other, their impression of you is publicity. Your impression of them is companionship. Very sweet. And we have Jupiter in Leo, which is actually the astrological placement that is associated with the Six of Wands. And so that makes a lot of sense with publicity. They will probably see you as someone who is very popular or very successful, and they would feel that you can get along with anyone. They would feel that you are very well liked, that everyone must like you. Clearly, they really like you right from the start. And they think you're very cool. They definitely admire you, look up to you, are impressed by you, want you to be impressed by them, want you to like be proud of them. They would probably also think that you are out of their league. Like, oh, there's no way that group 4 would be interested in me. I'm probably not their type. They could probably get anyone they want. They're out of my league. This is how they feel about you. And I see a lot with this energy, like they're proud to know you. They would probably brag about you, tell anyone in their life about you, and be really proud that they could talk to you and get to know you and spend time with you. They just think you are really, really cool, to the point that if they heard about any insecurities that you have, I feel like they would genuinely be shocked. Like, let's say, this is just a hypothetical example, but let's say like you thought that you are unattractive, they would actually be like jaw on the floor. They'd be like, you're lying. There's no way that you can look at yourself and not think that you're the most gorgeous being to walk the earth. I don't believe that for a second. Like, you need glasses, or you are lying to me. Like, it just wouldn't compute for them. Whatever it is that you feel insecure about, they'd be like, that is false. That's like, my brain can't handle that. And then as for your impression of them, we have companionship with the moon in Libra. And this is actually the astrological association with the Two of Swords. So I think that you get a good vibe from them, and you can definitely tell that they like you, that they're being kind to you, they're being respectful. I don't think you can really read from them how crazy they are about you at first. They definitely are, but it could either be because they're holding back or because they have a good poker face. And something I've heard from people with Libra placements or Libra rising is that sometimes people think they're flirting, but they're actually just being nice. If you have Libra placements, let me know if that's the case for you. But your impression of them, you might not really be able to tell. Like, are they flirting with me? Are they interested in me? Or are they just being a nice person? Like, are they just friendly? You maybe feel like you can't really tell. And maybe it's like you can tell they like you, but maybe you can't tell if it's just as a friend or if they would want something deeper with you. And so it makes sense like that the moon in Libra has that Two of Swords energy, because that's the feeling of, I don't know which one it is. It could go either way. So you might be not really sure what their intentions are, or you might think that they're not sure. You might think that they are not really sure about you and you just can't really tell. It's not really like that they're giving you mixed signals, because I think they're from the start being very nice and warm to you. But you're like, maybe that's just their personality. Like maybe they're just nice to everyone. And yes, I think they are nice to everyone, but I also think that they just really like you and really have feelings for you. So we have the numbers 5 and 7 here, which could be relevant. So for example, May 7th or July 5th could be significant dates. Life path 5, life path 7, or a 5 to 7 year age gap. Or it could be 2 years, because like there's a difference of 2 between 5 and 7. And then, like I mentioned before, Jupiter in Leo, Moon in Libra. We also have Mars in Pisces. We have Mercury in Aquarius, Gemini energy, and Capricorn energy, which could be a significant, like it could be placements of you or your person. It doesn't have to be, but that could be a little confirmation for some of you. So this is everything that I'm seeing for my group number 4s. We're going to take it over to the extended now, where we are going to find out whether you have perhaps already met this person or you already know of them. If you have met them, we'll see what's next in your connection. If you haven't met them, we'll see what's next after this meeting. And then we will get some relevant timing predictions for your connection. So if that sounds good to you and you would like to join me over in the extended reading, I'm going to have that linked down below in the description as well as in the pinned comment of this video. However, if you're going to leave the reading here, I want to say thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you are watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch tons of timeless, exclusive pick a card readings just like this one. You can also decide on topics for future videos. I will link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. That is an original song. I'll also have my latest release link down below. And finally, I will link my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. Thank you guys so much for supporting me. Thank you for being here. I really, really appreciate your support, and I'm sending lots of love to you, to your person, your higher selves, your spirit guides, your spiritual teams, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi, number 5s. So if you guys chose the green flower Jasper, this is going to be your reading all about how, where, and when you will meet your soulmate. This is the full breakdown of today's reading. We have the reading here on YouTube as well as an extended. In the YouTube reading, we're going to start by looking at what events will lead up to you meeting your soulmate, what's going to be going on in your life right before you meet them. And we're going to look at this from an internal perspective, so like what's going on with you, and an external perspective, what's going on around you in your external circumstances. And so if you're going through something like what we describe here, that is a strong sign that you are about to meet your soulmate, or this energy, these circumstances can be what you can look forward to know when your soulmate is about to come into your life. Then we are going to see the setting, so where you're going to meet your soulmate and the circumstances of your coming together. And we're going to look at both of your energies during this meeting and what impressions you will have of each other. And then in the extended reading, we're going to see whether you have perhaps already met this person, or if you already know of them or know who they are. And then we are going to see, if you have met them already, we'll see what is next in your connection. If you haven't met them yet, we'll see what happens after your meeting. And then we are going to see some relevant time frames for you and your soulmate within this connection. So that is the reading that we have today. I'm already getting warm. So let me take off my little jacket and let's get into it. The first thing that we want to see is how to tell when your soulmate is about to enter your life. So we're going to start with your internal situation. What will be going on internally for group number 5s before they meet their soulmate? So we are starting off with the 4 of Pentacles, and then we have the 3 of Swords, and I believe that this is in the reverse. And then what is going on for you externally? Okay, we have the Hermit in the reverse. And we have, this came out like that actually. And then we have the 8 of Swords in the reverse. So that makes a lot of sense. Before you meet your soulmate, group number 5, you will be feeling very secure with this 4 of Pentacles. You'll be feeling sure of yourself. You'll be feeling secure within yourself. You'll be feeling emotionally stable, feeling like you can care for yourself, feeling like you can trust yourself. And there's a feeling of you feeling whole and complete and feeling like you're on the right path. You just feel very safe and secure and stable within yourself. And with this 3 of Swords in reverse as well, I think, at least I think this is reverse because this is like you're holding the sword up. I'm going to read this as reverse because I feel like it makes more sense for your energy. This 3 of Swords is showing me that there is great healing that has occurred for you. There is something from your past that you have perhaps fully processed now and that you're able to let go, especially heartbreaks, disappointments. And this could be from previous relationships that you've been in. It could be from previous friendships. It could even be from your childhood, but there is some heartache or heartbreak that I feel like you really took the time to sit with and process and learn the lessons that you needed to learn. Perhaps you needed to forgive someone or forgive yourself. And it really feels like you have moved on and come out on the other side. Like you've seen the light at the end of the tunnel. You are no longer burdened by past wounds. You are no longer burdened by the insecurities that used to hold you back or make you feel like you weren't worthy of love. And I know this might sound kind of cheesy because I think we say it a lot, but I think when your soulmate is about to come into your life, you will genuinely be in an energy of like, I know that I'm going to be fine either way. Like I'm whole and complete within myself. I can take care of myself. And even if my soulmate is going to take a long time to find me, like I'm okay with that. It's almost like you're happy on your own. You're happy to be single. And it doesn't mean that you don't want to meet them, but I feel like it feels less urgent, or it feels less, I guess I can say we're not feeling desperate. We're not feeling like this is someone that I need to complete me. Like I'm going to be in my lane. I'm going to be vibing. And whenever my soulmate's ready to find me, I'll be waiting for them with open arms. That's the feeling here. And then for your external energy, we have the Hermit in reverse and the 8 of Swords in reverse. So this tells me that you're probably going to be in quite an extroverted mood. And I think that it makes sense because it seems like your previous chapter was a lot about healing. And so you may have been more reserved, more introverted during that time. You may have literally been in a hermit mode where you were spending a lot of time alone, processing your past, processing your emotions, or maybe you were just spending time with your close-knit circle. you didn't really feel like mingling, or you didn't feel ready to welcome new energy into your life. There may have been a previous chapter where you were like really sensitive to energies around you. So it wasn't really appealing to be letting new unfamiliar energies in. You would rather stick to like what's familiar and you know that you're safe. But after all of that, I feel like there's this huge weight lifted off of you. After you've healed, you're like entering into your spring season. You are vibrant, you're full of life, you're ready to like go out and mingle in the world again. This is the vibe that you will be in right before your soulmate comes into your life. So I am reading this Hermit in reverse kind of literally, I guess, as like you coming out of hermit mode. And I also think you're coming out of a chapter that had some really hard lessons. There was some deep spiritual lessons that you were learning. And this next chapter of your life, it is not really about hard lessons. It's about enjoying yourself. It has a much more lighthearted energy. So you're stepping into this lighter energy now. The hard part is over. And now you can enjoy life as your new, relaxed, and healed self. So you may find that you are literally like going outside more, or you are meeting more new people, and this is something that you're really enjoying. And with the Eight of Swords, again, like I'm taking this to be a reversed sword. I definitely think that you're noticing you feel more confidence. Like when you go out in your social interactions, you might notice that those feelings of like insecurity or social anxiety that you used to feel are not really there anymore. You feel comfortable interacting with people, even if you don't know them that well. You feel comfortable asserting your boundaries. You feel comfortable speaking up, like speaking loudly and clearly. It's like you really feel like you've come into your own energy. You've claimed your personal power, and you feel confident out there in the world. You feel like you can go after whatever opportunities you desire, that you can go up and talk to anyone who interests you. You are truly feeling finally like the world is your oyster, and like you're not afraid, and you don't have to hide away. So this is the energy that you'll be in right before your soulmate comes into your life. With that being said, now let's take a look at the setting and the circumstances of you meeting your soulmate. Is the setting and circumstances under which group number 5 will meet their soulmate. So we have the King of Pentacles coming through. We have the Two of Wands. And we have the Knight of Wands. All right, so when the King of Pentacles came out, the first thing I thought is that this may be a work situation that you are meeting your soulmate in. And then when I saw the Two of Wands come out, like these two people coming together with their wand, it did give me the feeling of a collaboration, like a partnership or a collaboration. I think that this King of Pentacles could actually be a third party who is facilitating this union. Because if you and your soulmate are these people, this looks like someone who is like above you, so to speak, someone you are working for. This could be a boss or like someone above you in your company who is, for example, putting you in the same department or assigning a project to both of you to work together on. Or for those of you who are looking for a new job, this could be confirmation that you are getting the job and then your soulmate will be at this job. But this could also be a client or someone who is funding your work, because you see they're like holding out a coin for you. So it's the person who's paying you. So whether you get paid by a boss or you get paid by a client, this is the person who's paying you, and they are paying both of you to work on something together. And the example that just came to my mind is like one of you is a wedding photographer and one of you is a bartender. And so you both get hired to work at the same wedding. So it's not like you work for the same company, but it's the same people paying you. Like this would be the people getting married and they're paying both of you to be at this place. And you're not necessarily working together, but you kind of are. Like you're working on the same thing to make this event happen. So, and then, yeah, it could also be something like you're in the same company working on a project together. So there's a couple different ways to interpret this energy, of course. But yeah, this is definitely the two of you are joining forces. It could even be someone who is funding work that you're going to do, funding a creative project, funding research that you're doing, funding a campaign or something like that. And then you're working with them on it. So there's definitely a vibe of collaboration, of you putting your heads together, putting your talents together. And then we have the Knight of Wands. For me, this is a card that makes me think of friendship for whatever reason. I don't think that is like included in the traditional meaning of it, but it's kind of like, the way it feels to me is friends who secretly have a crush on each other, or friends who have a bit of like sexual tension or something like that. So that could kind of be the vibe between the two of you for quite some time. Even though you are technically working together, you might have a lot of fun. You might laugh a lot during work, goof off a lot together. I feel like you would have a lot of inside jokes together. You definitely develop a friendship really, really quickly, which could kind of turn into flirting with each other. And it feels like there's definitely that kind of chemistry and physical attraction between the two of you. And I also think that just having fun together, the way you can be goofy together and joke together, that will be a big factor of your attraction to each other. You know, like being funny is sexy, I think. And you both find each other funny, and that just like adds to your attraction. And I think you work really well together. You motivate each other. When you're together, you make each other want to work more. And so if this is a situation where you're in the same company, this boss person might actually put you together frequently because they see how like you're a very good pair. You bring the best out of each other. You guys could be very good at, this is kind of specific, but you could be good at doing presentations together or pitching, like doing sales pitches together. Like you make a good team when it comes to persuading people. You just work together really well like that. So this is, the setting and circumstances of your meeting. Let's take a look now at the cards to represent your energies in this meeting. So your energy is represented by the King. This King might be someone you already know, this boss or this client, like someone you've met before, or at least someone you've heard of before. This King who's going to bring you together. And then on their side, we have the Founder. That's funny. Like the King, the Founder, seems like it's talking about this person. So maybe both of you know this person already. And then, let's just look at these first. So on your side, we have the King, control, reversal of fortune. And for their energy, we have the Founder with foundations and community. I think that there's a feeling of you having kind of different backgrounds. I know that's vague because background can mean so many different things. It could be that you have different cultural backgrounds, different upbringings. Like maybe one of you had a comfortable childhood, like materially comfortable childhood, and one of you like struggled growing up. Or you could have different work backgrounds, so you have like a different skill set. But it kind of feels like you introduce each other to different worlds, like a different set of knowledge, a different set of experiences. And your strengths complement each other well. And I also think in terms of your personality, like your strengths and weaknesses in your personality would balance each other out very nicely as well. So, and one example that's coming to my mind right now is one of you may have the personality of liking to plan everything. They like to, like if you're going on a trip, they like to plan, okay, on this day we're going to go see this tourist attraction, and I'm the one who likes to look up all the restaurants and decide where we're going to eat. And then the other person hates doing that, and they like to just have someone else lead the way, and I'm just going to go wherever you take me. And so when those two people come together, it's like awesome, because I get to plan what I want to do and you're not going to interfere with that. And then the other person is like, this is awesome because I don't have to think about anything and I'll just let you take me to the places. So I think the differences in your personality, they make you more compatible. I think sometimes we tend to think that if we have a lot in common, we will be more compatible. And that's not necessarily the case all the time. Like that previous example, if both of you were the type of person who wants to plan, then you could start fighting over what you want to do or something like that. If both of you are like the leader type or the bossy type, like that's going to cause friction between the two of you. So it's like the differences that you have, it's almost like you were made to just fit. You were made to just fit together like puzzle pieces. It does seem like there's some area of your life where you've really had to take control and you've really had to make it on your own, whereas they had more of a support system. So again, one example, maybe you had to become, like you had to grow up quickly and you had to take care of your family or take care of the household from a very young age and just figure it out. Whereas growing up, they had more of a support system and they could be more of a child and rely on the adults. Just one example, but there's a certain area of your life that you are very independent in, because I think you just had to be. You had to figure out how to take control, whereas they had more help and more support in that area. It could be something like your career as well. And maybe through meeting you, it could be something that your person has taken for granted. And so when they see what you've done on your own, what you had to do on your own, that could be really inspiring for them, and also kind of a wake-up call of, holy crap, I should be more grateful for the support I received. I kind of took that for granted. And I do think that the moment you come into each other's lives, it is the start of a very successful chapter for both of you. Okay, so let's take a look at your energy in this meeting. We have innovation, or sorry, this is how they perceive you. Their impression of you in this meeting is innovation, and your impression of them is decision. Yeah, so you definitely admire each other a lot and find each other very competent. I know that's a weird word, but like competent, capable. Something that they will appreciate about you is your creativity. They find that you have good problem solving skills. They find that you are resourceful. You can find new creative ways to do things. They're saying it's not even that you're thinking outside of the box. It almost feels like you don't even have a box to begin with. You don't even think about going in the lines, because all of your thoughts are original. All of your thoughts are unique. And they really admire your ability to come up with your own stances on things, to come up with your own opinions and think critically about things. They might find you to be someone who is like, they love that you don't get swayed by whatever is popular or whatever is normal. You're just very much your own person. And they might find you to be someone who is kind of eccentric or quirky, but they love that about you. They absolutely love that about you. And then in terms of your impression of them, First of all, I think something else that you'll find very attractive about them is how straightforward they are. This is definitely someone who just says what they mean and means what they say, and don't beat around the bush. And sometimes with how straightforward they are, it could really leave you like blushing because they will just straight up say what they're thinking about with you, or like what they want to do with you and like not beat around the bush in any way. And then they, like, if you're working together, they might just like say something and walk away, and you're like, oh! Like that kind, like maybe how they flirt is just like very straightforward. But I think it's something that you appreciate about them. And when it's time to talk about feelings and when it's time to talk about more difficult things, I also think that they are, they're just super straightforward about it. I think this person, like with chess, they are very good at planning ahead. They're good at thinking about the future. And also, chess is strategic. So they're straightforward, but they're not rude. Like, they're able to be tactful and think about who they're speaking to and think about how the other person might perceive what they're saying. They definitely do feel a sense of responsibility for how their message is received. And they do have that empathy for the other person. Like, they're not the type of person who's like, I'm just keeping it real. Like, I'm just saying what we're all thinking, but like they're actually an asshole. They're direct and straightforward and also considerate and tactful. And that's like a beautiful balance that seems to come naturally to them. And I think that's something you'll find really attractive about them. And they seem to be good at matching other people's energy. They seem to be good at taking on the energy of whoever they're dealing with. So, and I think this makes them very good at business. And I also think they're good at making friends too, because they can just vibe with anyone and it doesn't feel forced. And I think it makes them good at business, because if they have 10 different clients who have like 10 different personalities, they're like a chameleon. They can just kind of blend into that easily. This person is very smart too. I think you both are very impressed by each other's intellectual capabilities and intellectual prowess. We have the numbers 11 and 3 here, which could be significant. November 3rd or March 11th could be significant dates, or life path 3 and life path 11 could be significant, or a 3-year or 11-year age gap could be significant. It doesn't have to be. I'm just mentioning things that could be confirmation for some of you. And then in terms of astrological placements that we have in this reading, we have the Jupiter in Aquarius, Mars in Gemini. We also have Mars in Aries. We have Sun in Capricorn. We have Saturn in Libra, and we have Virgo energy. And we also have Jupiter in Gemini. Very specific, but if any of those stand out to you, it could be confirmation, like if you or someone on your mind has those placements. But this is everything I'm seeing for my group number 5. So we're going to take it over to the extended now, where we see, do you perhaps already know this person or know of this person? And if you have met them before, we'll see what's next in your connection. If you haven't, we'll see what's next after this meeting. And we're also going to get some timing predictions for your connection. So if that sounds good to you and you would like to join me over in the extended, I'm going to have it linked down below in the description, as well as in the pinned comment of this video. However, if you're going to leave the reading here, I want to say thank you so much for letting me read for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself. Stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch tons of timeless, exclusive pick a card readings just like this one. And you can also decide on topics for future readings. I will link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. That is an original song. I'll also have my latest release link down below. And finally, I will have my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really, really appreciate having you here. And I'm sending so much love to you, to your soulmate, your higher selves, your spirit guides, your spiritual teams, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi, number 6s. So if you guys chose the green Apophyllite with Stilbite, this is going to be a reading all about how, where, and when you will meet your soulmate. And here is the full breakdown of the reading we're going to do today. We have the reading here on YouTube as well as an extended. And here on YouTube, we're going to start by seeing the events leading up to you meeting your soulmate, what's going to be going on in your life right before you meet them. And we're going to look at this from an internal perspective, like what is going on with you, as well as an external perspective, what is going on around you in your external circumstances. And so if you're going through something like what we describe here, then that is a strong sign that you are about to meet your soulmate, or these can be the circumstances to look out for to show you when your soulmate is about to enter your life. Then we are going to see the setting and the circumstances of your meeting with your soulmate. So where you're going to be and how you're going to be brought together. We're also going to take a look at both of your energies during this meeting and the impressions that you'll have of each other. And then in the extended, we are going to see if you perhaps have already met this person or you already know of them. And if you have met them before, we'll see what's next in this connection. If you haven't met them before, we'll see what happens after your meeting. And then we'll get some predictions for relevant time frames for you and your soulmate within this connection. So that is the reading today. And let's get into it. The first thing we want to see is, how will you know when your soulmate is about to enter your life? Start with your inner world. What will be going on for group number 6s internally when they are about to meet their soulmate? What will be going on for them internally? We have the Emperor in reverse. And we have the 10 of Cups in the upright. Very nice. And what will be going on externally? We have the 5 of Swords in the upright. And we have the 4 of Swords. Wait a minute. I don't know with the swords, what is technically upright and what is technically reversed. And I think I've just been doing it intuitively throughout this reading, but one of them's going one way and one of them's going the other way. So I think I'll just channel the messages intuitively. I do know for sure this is upright and this is obviously reversed. But I actually want to start over here. I think that externally, when you are about to meet your soulmate, things might be kind of difficult in your life, or I almost want to say unfavorable. Like the circumstances of your life are not what you had hoped or not what you had envisioned. There's a feeling of things not quite being where you want them to be, or not being as far along in your journey as you had originally wanted to be. What is going on internally though? With this Emperor in reverse, it's actually quite a beautiful energy. There's a softening that is going on within you. There are maybe some walls that are coming down. It seems like this group has gone through a long period of being very independent, not wanting to ask for help or accept help, or feeling a lot of pressure to be like, I'm fine on my own, I don't need anyone. maybe you thought that this was like the right way to be, so to speak. And I think that something that is shifting for you internally is embracing your desire for connection, embracing your desire to lean on someone. And it could be specifically embracing your longing for a romantic partner and understanding that that doesn't make you any less like capable of taking care of yourself. That doesn't make you any less, like, it's not a bad thing to want a partner or to need a partner. You may have fallen into this energy of really wanting to assert, like, I don't need love, I don't need a partner, like I can do it on my own. And I don't know if that's how you felt deep down, but maybe something that you like wanted to be true, or felt that true confident people, true independent people must feel this way. And you may have also kind of fallen into like an individualistic way of thinking. If you live in a Western country, I do feel like our culture is very individualistic, and we feel like it's a bad thing to depend on each other, and we like isolate ourselves in our own energy. And I think that's something that's kind of unraveling for you. It's like you're longing for your walls to come down. You're longing for more connectedness. You are becoming comfortable with saying like, I need you, or I need someone, or I need help, or I want to lean on you. And I think it might be uncomfortable at first, but I think before you meet your soulmate, you're really easing into the beauty of it. And that's why I say like you're softening. This is going to allow for more love to enter your life. There could also be something about you not being afraid of the full spectrum of your emotions. It's like the deeper you go into sadness or pain or grief, also the deeper you can experience joy and love and bliss. And so I think something that's also happening internally is like a radical acceptance of all of your emotions. It's like there's maybe a toxic positivity that you're throwing away, or like a hyper independent or hyper like individualistic way of looking at things that you're throwing away. You may also be overcoming this concept of like certain emotions are high vibrational and low vibrational. Like you're not going to moralize or demoralize your emotions, and just focus on what feels authentic in that moment, what feels true to you in that moment. You are coming back to yourself, and it's actually in accepting others' love and accepting others' help that you do come back to yourself. Because in our heart of hearts, we are all like social and connected beings. It's in our nature to depend on each other. Literally, no one can survive on their own. No one can make it on their own. No one can heal on their own. We have to depend on each other, and we all walk around pretending like we don't. And it's silly, and it stops us from experiencing real intimacy. And it's almost like we trick ourselves. Like, I don't have to be vulnerable and depend on anyone, and then I don't have to ever get hurt. But like, that's life. Life is joy and life is pain. Life is love and life is loss. And it's like you no longer want to hide from certain parts of it. You want to experience the fullness of yourself and the fullness of all the experiences life has to offer. Why am I getting so emotional? Oh my goodness. So I think when it comes to how your life is going externally, it might not be exactly how you want it to be, but I think you're in a place, again, of radical acceptance and just accepting your life the way it is. And so if there's something in your life that you don't like, you're facing it, you're being honest about it. This is how it is. I have the power to change it if I don't like it, but I also understand that my life being in unfavorable circumstances is not a failing on my part. It doesn't mean that I did something wrong or that I'm any less valuable. This is just, I'm just examining the information that my emotions are showing me. I feel this emotion towards my life, and so I can choose to change it. You're really getting rid of like all the judgment that is tied to like things going well or things not going well, or having a positive emotion or having a negative emotion. Those are no longer seen as like successes or failures, if that makes sense. My life just is what it is. And there's things that are going well and there's things that are not going well. And I can be happy in this moment and I can be grateful in this moment. And I can also change things. So yeah, how do I sum this up? Acceptance, inner peace, and also an opening up and a softening and being honest about your deep desires for love and connection. This is the energy that you're going to be in. So with all of that being said, let's take a look at the setting and the circumstances of your meeting with your soulmate. My lovely group number 6s. What are the setting and the circumstances of group number 6's meeting with their soulmate? I think also at this point, you're really in a place where you feel like you are your own soulmate. And that makes you feel really happy to have that relationship with yourself. So we have the Justice card coming through. We have the Knight of Swords. I don't know why that was confusing to me. He's literally holding a sword. This was a knight, but I felt like it was a king. And then we have the 3 of Cups, which that came out for another group as well. This is like really weirdly specific with the Justice card, but you could meet your soulmate when you are going through some kind of legal process or some kind of like application process. Like you could be applying for a visa or applying for a passport, or I don't know, doing something with important documents and like bureaucracy and things like that. Sometimes the Justice card makes me think of those kind of things. You could also be in the process of buying or selling a house. You could be in the process of considering a contract that you want to sign or looking over a contract. And actually, wait a minute, that might be the case for more of you than I realized, because there was this is your person's side, by the way. We'll get into that in a second, but they're coming through as a Knight of Swords, but it was so weird. Like I stumbled when this card came out because I really wanted to say the king, but it is a knight. This card is a knight. And so I think that your person is a king, but they're humbly like kneeling down. And it's showing that like, even though they are a king, they're down to earth. Your person, I feel like they are some kind of specialist, or they are just really, really smart. And they're going to be helping you with something. I actually don't think this is about your meeting, by the way. I think it's just something that's coming through. So for example, maybe you got a really exciting opportunity and the contract gets sent over to you. And this person is a lawyer and is really good at reading contracts, but they're like coming down to your level. So what it feels like is, it's not like you're hiring them for their services as a lawyer to help you. They're just approaching you as a friend and being like, if you want me to look over the contract, like, let me know, just send it over to me. And it's really, really generous of them, because it's probably something that they usually get paid for. And it's probably a very long document, but they just want to help you. So they'll like read it through for you. Or in the case you're applying for a visa, maybe you're applying for a visa in another country and they're like, if you need me to translate anything for you, if you need me to like go to the immigration office with you and be an interpreter for you, like just let me know. I feel like you're going through some kind of process that is a hassle, and there's maybe a lot of long documents, or the process is very specific and you might be nervous. And then like this person has the specialized knowledge or experience to help you, but they're just offering help as a friend. They're not like formally offering their services. And so they're doing this really like generous and humble thing for you. And yeah, I think this is just kind of describing the early stages of your relationship. That could be how you meet for the first time with this 3 of Cups here. I do think that you are introduced through like a mutual friend, or like a mutual acquaintance or something. Or it could be, for example, your sibling's friend or your friend's coworker. There's something about a friendship that ties you to this person. They may be introduced to you because like they can help with this, but I don't think that has to do with your first meeting. That's not really the vibe I'm getting. The vibe I'm getting is more like you briefly met them once, like when you were hanging out with your friend, or you will briefly meet them once when you're hanging out with your friend. You probably won't think much of them, if I'm being honest. Like you'll think they're really nice and it was really easy to talk to them, but I don't think it's necessarily a feeling of like, oh my God, you're my soulmate. I think it's once like later when you get to know each other more. But yeah, they're definitely displaying to you some great like kindness and generosity that comes with something that they're like specialized in, or that they have a lot of knowledge and experience in. And it's really sweet because you'll see that they're taking an interest in you as a person. So it doesn't end up being like just about this one task that we need to get done. It's like we end up building a friendship. We end up talking a lot. We end up staying for longer than we originally planned to, because we got so lost in this conversation. And it really doesn't feel like this super intense, oh my gosh, I have butterflies, oh my gosh, you're the one. It's like it just kind of happens to you, like, oh my gosh, this person is so nice. I feel so comfortable when I'm with them. I really feel like I can trust them. And you just ease into it like a warm bath. That's how it feels. And it's very nice. And it's like people already know and like this person. You may even kind of already have the same friend group, or like your friends like each other. It kind of feels like with this 3 of Cups, you mesh together perfectly and your groups mesh together really perfectly as well. This is a very specific message, but you could both have pets and the pets meet each other. Like maybe you both have dogs and so you walk your dogs together. Or when one of you goes on a trip, like you go on a trip and then you leave your cat with them and they cat sit and your cat makes friends with their cat. Something about your pets interacting just came up. But anyway, let's take a look at your energies during this meeting. So for you, we have the Witch, experimentation, and rebellion. And for their energy, we have the Sleeper, cause and effect, and clarity. It's funny because the Witch, it does seem like someone who is deeply spiritual, someone who is deeply psychic, and someone who is awake, right? And then we have the Sleeper. I think that this person is probably not spiritual, but I think that they might be open to it and they might ask you questions about it. It feels like they are curious about it and they want to hear you out. You might, like, if you do readings, or yeah, you might like do a reading for them, or you might share something about your spiritual beliefs when you first meet this person and they become really fascinated by that, because that's kind of a world that they really don't know anything about. They very much just like lived here in the 3D, which is also spiritual, but it's kind of giving the feeling that they're not super attuned to non-physical things, metaphysical things. And that will be something that really fascinates them about you. And they may also note that you can read them very well, or they might notice that you can read people very well and that you're very observant. We also have, so for your impression of them, we have decision and wait, sorry, their impression of you is decision. Your impression of them is companionship. This actually, both of these cards have come out in previous groups, which is interesting. So let's start with your impression of them. We have companionship. Again, I feel like there's this energy of you feeling that they're very easy to get along with, that they're very friendly, kind, polite, respectful, all of that. I feel like they have feelings for you pretty early on, but it's kind of, I think I'm laughing because it's kind of ironic, because you're coming through as like you're awake, you're psychic, but when it comes to realizing that this person has feelings for you, or this person has been hinting, like for example, they've been hinting that they want to take you on a date, or like they've been hinting that they have feelings for you, I feel like that might kind of go over your head. And there was kind of a similar message in a previous group, but you might play it off as like, oh, they're just being nice. And it might take you a while to clue in that they are really serious about you. You might, I don't know, you might just assume that they're not interested in you that way. Like, oh no, like they just like me as a friend, or they're just nice. And yes, they are nice, but I think there is a reason like that they're going so above and beyond for you. I think they really, really do care about you on a deeper level. But yeah, I think you will immediately feel fond and comfortable around this person. And like I said, it's just something that you'll ease into it, something that will grow naturally. As for their impression of you, we have decision. I think something that really is very attractive about you to this person is your passion. They see you as someone who really knows what you want. And it's like when you want something, you'll just go for it. Even if you're not exactly sure how it's going to work out, you'll just like trust the universe, or you'll just take a leap of faith and go for it. They see you as a go-getter. They see you as someone who has strong willpower. They see you as someone who's very intelligent, and they really, really want to see you succeed. And if there's anything that they can do to assist in that, they'll do it in a heartbeat. They would definitely see you as someone who has a bright future, who has a promising future, and also someone who has brilliant ideas and a brilliant way of seeing the world. They like the way that you are a very spiritual person and you balance your spiritual side and practical side so well. And they think you have a very like healthy outlook on life, and you have a strong sense of who you are. It definitely comes through this inner work that you've done. And they also think that it's like if more people thought like you, the world would be a better place. And they may think that A lot of people would benefit from hearing your messages. There may be a lot of things you say in conversation that they find very brilliant, but that you don't really think much of it. You might think that everybody thinks like that. Everyone would say something like that. And no, actually, that's a very like special opinion that you have, or that's a very special way of looking at things that you have. You may kind of underestimate how unique your worldview is, or how good you are at putting things into words, like how articulate you are, how intelligent you are. And they would really like, it's like they want more people to know about what you have to say, or they wish, it's like they wish there was more people like you, honestly. So we have the numbers 3 and 7 here, which could be significant. The dates March 7th or July 3rd could be significant. Life path 3 or life path 7. A 3-year age gap or a 7-year age gap could also be significant. It doesn't have to be. I'm just saying these little things because it could be confirmation for some of you. Also, we have like 3-7 here, and we have 3-8 here. So someone could be like 37 or 38 years of age when you meet, whether that's you or your soulmate. And again, obviously that's not going to be for everyone, but could be a confirmation. And then in terms of the astrological placements that we have present in this reading, we have Mars in Gemini, we have the moon in Libra, we have Libra again here, we have Mercury in Cancer, we have Aries energy, we have Mars in Pisces, we have Venus in Aquarius, and we have Jupiter in Libra. So those are quite specific, but if one or a couple of those resonate for you or resonate for your person, then that could definitely be a confirmation. But this is everything I see for my group number 6s. So we're going to take it over to the extended now, where we are going to see if you have perhaps already met this person or you already know of this person. And if you have met them, we're going to see what's next in your connection. If you haven't met them, we are going to see what's next after this meeting, and then we will get some timing predictions for your connection. So if that sounds good to you and you'd like to join me over in the extended, I'm going to have that link down below in the description as well as in the pinned comment of this video. However, if you're going to leave the reading here, I want to say thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch tons of exclusive, timeless pick-a-card readings just like this one. And you can also decide on the topics for future readings. I will link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. That is an original song. I'll also have my latest release linked down below. And finally, my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. Group number 6, thank you so much for being here. I'm sending lots of love to you, to your soulmate, to your higher selves, your spirit guides, your spiritual teams, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.